This is Peter Lau. Today is Monday, December 9th. I'm at 154 East 54th Street, Los Angeles, California. I'll be entering through the left side cleanout in the furthest unit in the rear. So this is the alleyway in the back side. This cleanout is located on the left-hand side of the rear unit. This is the walkway to the rear unit. And again, this cleanout is located where all the debris is. Here's the cap for the cleanout. In a brief moment, we will be transitioning to the end of the sewer line, as that provides the clearest video. We're about 173 feet into the main sewer line where it ties in with the city sewer, noted at a depth of 8 feet. I'll be making my way back towards the access point. So as the homeowner, typically the city will take responsibility for a certain portion of the line, but the same is expected of the homeowner. So I scoped out to the city sewer connection, which is located in the middle of the street where the manholes are. And up until that connection, it's actually going to be on the homeowner's responsibility in case there's any issues with the sewer line, which is why I scope out to that connection. So a majority of this video that you're going to see here is actually going to be on the homeowner's responsibility. And what I'm looking out for in this type of piping material, looking out for any kind of offsets, root intrusion, cracks, anything that may cause complications to the sewer line. So this is a good example of what an offset looks like. The joint that connects two sections of clay piping together, over time that'll become off-centered, which allows for moisture to seep out of that joint. And that's typically why you get root intrusion in the clay portion of the line. And we have about 171 feet remaining. This is a much further run because once again I did go through the rear unit, and the sewer line runs on 54th Street. So the distance indicator is on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. As I pull the line back, that number will be decreasing. Once again, looking out for any kind of offsets, root intrusion, and cracks. Water was ran prior and during the inspection from the third unit on the lot. At the present time of inspection, there was no water that was turned on in this unit in the rear. So just working my way back from clay piping, and that's very typical. Most cities will use clay for their sewer line material. And we're noticing some debris buildup at that lip. You can see where the debris is forming. There's a little bit of stagnant water there, not causing any blockages at the present time of inspection. And we're just noting offsets throughout the clay portion of the line. That is fairly common to see within this type of piping material. Offsets are typically caused by heavy construction, earthquakes, things of that nature that will shift the joints of the clay piping slightly over time. So the way that the sewer line is running, once again, I am starting through the rear unit, and it runs towards, and this is all under the assumption we're facing the front side of the property. So the cleanout was on the left-hand side, and the way that the sewer line is running, it's towards the right side of the homes. And then it's basically a straight shot out to the city sewer. You've probably noticed that we haven't gone through any turns as of yet. did mention that water was ran prior and during the inspection. That's to check for a few things. I want to make sure there's no stagnant water in the line, as that could indicate an issue with sloping. As of right now, we're seeing a little bit of residual water flow. And the reason why stagnant water in a sewer line is a bad indicator is that at any point, if there's a large amount of stagnant water, that's typically where the sediment and debris will collect. The stuff that you flush through the toilets, any grease in the kitchen sink, that's the point where that buildup can happen, and then you may have a clog or slow draining in the sewer line. But I'm just explaining what I'm looking out for. We're not seeing any incidents of that yet. With about 70 feet remaining, we're over halfway through the sewer line now. So there are currently the front few units are being occupied, so there was a little bit of water that was ran, and just more offsets within the clay. So now we're basically at the rear unit, working our way back underneath. Making our way back from a turn, and here's where we transition materials. So we're going from clay piping to cast iron, and this property was built in the 30s, so cast iron is perfectly expected. Some things to note with cast iron: scaling is present. Scaling is a buildup of minerals, and this will happen typically when you run water through cast iron over time. And scaling is a buildup of the cast iron minerals, and it'll get caked onto itself over the years, similar to plaque buildup. The scaling is not causing any blockage at the time of inspection. We're noticing some grease and sediment within the line as well, not causing any blockages. Now we're working our way out the access. And this concludes the inspection of the main sewer line. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call, text, or email me. Thank you.
I talked to